Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Young and Active, the space where real talk meets youth vibes. I am your girl, Lady Glow, and today we're diving into something that hits home for so many of us: the trap of comparison. You know that feeling when you're scrolling through social media and you see everyone's perfect life, and suddenly your own achievements start to feel small. Yeah. We've all been there, but today we're unpacking it all: the highs, the lows, and how we can overcome it. And I'm not doing this alone. I have two amazing guests with me in the studio. So first off, I have Charlie Thursday, who is an actor, a gospel singer, and a media personality. And then I have Johnny, who is an MC, sports commentator, and a minister of the word. So you all should get ready. It's going to be deeper, inspiring, and a little bit spicy. So stay tuned, grab your snacks, and let's get into it. Hello, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Right. It's so nice to have you all here today as we're talking about the trap of comparison. I believe all of us have been, one way or the other, caught up in comparison. So to start off, I would like to ask both of you, have you ever found yourself trapped in comparison? And what was it for you? Was it a social media, friendship, or relationship? Let me start with you, Thursday.
Okay, well, I found myself trapped in comparison in a way, growing up. One, I call it immaturity. Because when you're growing up and you see other people, doing some things, you feel like, oh, I wish I could do this, but I don't have the money to do it. Okay.
Right.
Or I want to do the same thing, but I want it to look like how they do it. Forgetting that you can start from somewhere and get there. So growing up, there are some things I felt, I couldn't do because I felt other people are doing better and I should be able to get to their standard before I do mine. Now, so when I'm growing up, I call it immaturity. Okay. And when I grew up and I came to understand whatever it is, I called it lack of gratitude.
Okay, so I'm coming. In the beginning, it was immaturity, but
Yes.
after discovering, you realized it was lack of gratitude.
When you are growing up, there are a lot of people who are immature.
Okay.
There are a lot of youth who are immature. These Gen Zs, and most of them are immature because they've just been to JHS and it's all about the theory they are being taught in school, and that's all.
Okay.
You understand? So all their lives are spent on social media. So they are not really taught a lot of things. So the immaturity is high.
Okay.
That's where they begin to compare. But when you have grown to a standard or a level, I don't call it immaturity anymore. I call it lack of gratitude.
Right. So I would want you to pause there because I wouldn't want us to go deeper into the conversation. It seems you're already pushing us already. So yeah, Johnny, let me come to you. Have you ever been caught in the trap of comparison? And what was it like for you? Was it on social media, relationship, or friendship?
Thank you very much for the opportunity and thank you for the question. First of all, let me give shout outs to my girl. She's watching me right now because I told her that I'm going to do so.
That's nice.
Yeah. So going on to the question, the trap of comparison, my experience, I use my personal life for this example. Looking at my personality, the way God created me, when I was coming up, I had the limitation of height. When I say limitation, understand, that is what I termed it. And I compared myself with other people who had height more than I did. So I told myself, like, why did God create me like this? Why am I looking in this form? And I started questioning God. I started complaining and going hard at him that why should you have to create me in this condition? So that was while I was young. And when I got bullied by my height and I got angry, and then I stopped talking with the people. In fact, we are at loggerheads. We don't talk for years. But as I was growing up, then I started appreciating the goodness of the Lord.
Okay.
That is how Charlie Thursday put it, gratitude. I started appreciating that it isn't because I decided to create myself this way. God intentionally made it this way for me. So I have to just appreciate it and stop comparing myself with others and live for the good. That's it.
Exactly. Wow, that's so wonderful. So let's come to our main question. Why do you think the youth of today are caught up in comparison, especially in this generation?
Like I said, immaturity is one. Because you see a little girl on TikTok just dancing or following a trend, because a lot of people are doing. They don't know what they are doing. They don't understand what they are doing. But it's just because they've had the chance to be on social media or had the chance to use phones.
Yeah.
Because in those days, it would be hard for you to use
mobile phone.
You understand?
And having data, to be precise.
Thank you very much. So there are a lot of things that they are exposed to, and because they are immature, they follow blindly. And so they see their friends doing this and they feel like they are not worth it, or they compare themselves to them.
Exactly.
And they want to try and be like them.
Yeah.
Therefore, it makes them do things they are not supposed to do, just to, assuming, let's put just this normal thing. I go on TikTok and a normal friend that I have does nothing really, has a lot of likes, has a lot of followers. And I want to go more than that. Why is it that we are posting the same video, but hers is trending, mine is not trending? So you tend to do something which the people like. And you know, of late, sensible things do not go far.
No.
You understand?
Yeah.
So the person will try to push himself or herself to get there by doing a whole lot of, excuse my words, nasty things that is out of the way. Like
just to get the likes.
Just to get the likes.
Right.
You understand?
Sure.
And for the adults, those I term matured, I call it lack of gratitude. Because, you see, if you are able to give thanks for the little you have, or appreciate the little you have, you know that God has done a lot for you. Because, fine, you might not be where you want to be, but at least you have moved. You understand? So right now, the mindset have moved from God, what do you want from me, to God, why don't you make me like this? Or why didn't I get what these people want?
Okay, so that's how people are turning to blame God, like how Johnny said.
Yes.
Right. So what you were saying, that means the youth lack what they are supposed to do, and they are just flowing blindly.
Yes, the little ones, I mean the Gen Zs.
Exactly. So Johnson, coming to you, would you say that what Thursday said means the youth lack purpose? Like they don't know what to do in their lives and they just copy blindly, like randomly?
I agree with Thursday because we are influenced by what we see or hear. First of all, before I even tackle that, I'll tackle the aspect of what triggers the comparison. First of all, with social media, it deals with the device that the social media is on. So generally, if a lady has a phone, put it in a Samsung phone that is of a lower class, and she sees her colleague friend with a higher phone, an upper class iPhone, you know, those high tech, and then my same colleague friend having this thing, it's like, how is she able to have access to this and I don't have? So that desire to even want, first of all, you've compared. Why are you not content with what you have? You are not appreciative with the little you have to use it, but you want to get that one. So every means you will pass through to get access to that kind of phone, you will do it. So of course, you know practically that it is happening. Ladies, as you already know, people are saying that they give out just because they want to get the higher tech, all these things. So that is one part of it. Then when you come to social media, on the social content itself, on the media, TikTok, Instagram, and the likes, in major quantity, things that go on social media are good, nice, beautiful, educative, things you would like to have. But currently in your position, you are not there or don't have or haven't got there yet. But you want to put yourself in that class. So it forces you to put yourself there. So when the means does not come for you to get there, then you get discouraged. So the trap of comparison is when you are discouraged about your own specifics, your own qualities, your own goods, which you don't value, you don't show gratitude for. You feel bad about it and yet want to get on. That is on social media. Take friendship, take fashion. Look how you're dressing. What you have now, that is what you can afford. That is what you can purchase. But when you go online and you see on TikTok, ladies flaunting different hairstyles, different style of dressing, and you're like, I wish I could get this. I wish I could get this. Then the thoughts come, how do I get it then? Okay, now you start thinking and planning, how do you get it? If you don't get the right method to go through, which is to set goals and work hard to achieve it so that you can get there. The other thing to do is to go it the wrong way.
Right.
And how is it? It is to give yourself out. If you're a lady, you know the means. If you're a man too, it is
What's the means? Tell us. It's not working. Tell us. We want to know.
If you allow me to say, the means which I commonly know
Right.
that works among ladies is when women, girls, precisely
I know the girls.
nice girls.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
said they give themselves
they
out.
give themselves
I'm talking
out.
about the men.
The men.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to know that.
So with the men, we actually, do dubious things, okay?
Such as?
Yeah, such as, we enter into scamming,
Okay.
just to be able to
Fraud
get what we want,
and those
fraud and things, stealing, and sometimes...
Yes, it's money.
Exactly.
Money. Okay.
That is ours. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that was so beautiful. But then I just want to emphasize on the fact that doesn't mean the youth lack purpose. Like, are they not oriented to their life purpose? Yeah, I think that they can help me with that.
You see, in life, in finding purpose, you need guidance.
Not to even talk about purpose specifically, but I mean, why are they coping blindly? Is it that they don't know what to do in life?
No, it is they lack identity.
Right, they lack identity.
Your identity
Mm.
gives you a purpose.
Okay.
So if you lack identity,
Mhm.
you will not be able to find your purpose. You don't know who you are. How would you find what you're supposed to do?
Right.
Do you get it? So if the youth would know their identity and know what they are worth, they would not do some things, or they will not copy blindly.
Exactly.
But like I said, you see, a lot of people handling phones, like we're talking about the youth from 14 upwards.
Mhm.
You see, they use phones and they're always on social media. The things that they see there, it's not everything that their parents know,
Mm.
right? And because they are little children, when they see things and it fancies them, it tickles their fancy, they tend to follow it. Assuming there's a dance that's in, a new
Mhm,
dance.
mhm.
You find everybody doing it, they go on TikTok, they see it. It's
Yeah.
nice. And they are kids. Nobody is guiding them. Do you understand?
Sure.
There's no parent there to be able to scrutinize the things they watch, or yes. Because they feel it's a new world. We are in the 21st century, so we can also allow kids to use phone, which is good, because out of the same things they learn.
Mm.
It takes a child who lacks identity
Yeah.
and does not know, because if you lack identity, you don't know your purpose,
Right.
to follow blindly.
Mm.
And it is very common because most of the people following blindly are children.
I'll
Maybe
say
to
even some
25.
of the matured people are also following blindly.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are the people I call, I wouldn't want to use a word for them,
Yeah.
but if I say they are copying blindly, those are people who want to fit in.
Okay.
The children are copying blindly and the adults are trying to fit in
Right.
because they feel like, oh, this person is doing this. If I don't do some, I feel like I'm an outcast. You understand? That is where, like the wig you were talking about. Oh, there's this new wig I have to go and get. Now, you feel like if I don't get that wig, I can't go for that program.
Hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So the fact that they want to feel belong, they want to fit in by force. If the way this person is doing, me, if I don't have some of this dress, I'm not going there.
Mhm.
Why do you want to fit in? Why don't you want to be yourself?
Right.
So the fact of identity runs through. But like I'm saying, as a child, sometimes you need someone to guide you. But as an adult, you've gone through some experiences and you need to know what is right and what is wrong. Even the children, some of them know,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So, and every child who knows his purpose in life, everyone who knows his purpose or knows identity, knows the kind of route to take.
Mm.
So that person doesn't follow blindly. So if you're an adult there and you are following blindly, I beg you, your tactics to fit in won't help you.
Mm.
You understand? You lose that kind of inner joy.
Yeah.
Do you
And
understand?
self-value too.
Yes. So your worth is missing.
Mm-hmm.
You see someone's progress. You compare the progress of other people to yours.
Yeah.
So if you don't get to that extent, you can't do this. If you don't get to, and it kills us a lot.
So just the last construction, I'm going to pick that for my next question. But then before that, I want Johnson to buttress on what you just said. Johnson, do you think that parents have a role to play in the youth being trapped in comparison? Just briefly, then move to the next question.
Parents have major role to play in the youth being trapped in comparison. This is because it's the training and the upbringing you give to a child that leads the child to grow the way they should. So one challenge I have with some parents is that some parents don't really fantasize or give themselves to the concept of social media. They look at social media to be technology. This is for children. This is, it is your generation. It is your time. Then they allow the children on. Then if anything, then they call, hey, you come and do this. It is your time. You people, this thing was made for you. But parents don't go on to see what is happening on there. And so many of these coming ups are messing up seriously because they are not guided. Parents are not taking the time to give right training and upbringing to their children. So the parents have a special role, critical role to play, especially when it comes to manners. As a child, when you are growing up, the manner your parent teaches you with, that is what you grow in. The knowledge you are inculcated with, that is what you grow in. So when you see things on social media, it guides your decision. And the teachings from religious backgrounds, if I should put it in quotes, like churches, the training you get from church also influences what you assimilate or what you take in from social media. It's levels you're going. So when you end up comparing yourself with things, the knowledge you have inside will prompt you that no, I'm trying to go off board. Let me just stay in my rare. Yeah. You see, so we need to train them as parents and as teachers and as the church. Whatever knowledge needs to come to these younger ones, it needs to be given to them. That will guide them on what is on social media as comparing themselves with it. Yeah, so that's basically what I can put on that.
Wonderful. So I think this is a strong wake-up call for parents to guide their children on what goes on their social media. I mean, on their phone. What they do there, at least they are your kids. So you should be able to have control over them and guide them on what they do on social media. Now let's come to our next question. Have you ever felt like comparison stopped you from your progress and achievements? Let me start with you, Johnson.
Okay. Stopping you from your progress or achievement. Practically on the media space, online, money making, searching for income, working out to make wealth in life. So I am this IT enthusiast and I want to, earn money online. So I discovered lots of videos, tutorials and things to do to earn money. But this is the case. So many people are doing what I want to do. And well-established channels, gurus of our time, are in the space and they are doing it.
Yeah.
And me, I'm now coming to start. So I compared myself and I'm like, but you're just coming. In fact, you've not even developed any views.
Right.
Your channel is not established. Nothing. So I felt less. And guess what? Comparison helped me to discourage myself so much that I didn't start it at all.
It didn't even help you.
In fact, it damaged me rather.
Exactly.
In fact, just imagine, I could have become somewhere powerful if I continued and followed. And in my own space, my own capacity, ability, I could have gone somewhere.
But you were comparing.
I compared
so
myself.
It stopped you from your own progress and achievements.
Yes, exactly. I didn't start at all. I was discouraged. Oh, okay, some they are doing it already. Don't even go there. It won't work. People they are making it. Look how they are making. Like you will take long to get there.
Yeah.
So why do you want to go in? So I ended up discouraging myself.
Okay.
And let me come to natural ground. Practically, in our this day-to-day activity, there are people I want to get closer to. Let me look at the females, for instance. I've got eye on someone.
Okay.
I want to get there. But look at the condition, my status of life.
Yeah.
My life status compared to somebody who was also getting closer to the same person I want to get to.
Yeah.
I compared myself and then started judging it from my own comparison state. Look at what the person is having that I don't have. Okay. If it is
that is the guy, right?
That is another guy.
Okay.
Because I'm using a girl in this instance and she's the one I want. Now, I discouraged myself that I didn't have capital The other guy had capital, he had money. He's living with his parents in their own house. I'm in a rented house.
Okay.
And besides, finding difficulties with bills. You understand?
Okay.
And now, look at my day-to-day activity. I sometimes struggle to move on. But these ones are good to
there.
go. So, the same person, the other person wants to get to. And I also want to get to. Then I say, okay, that in my mind, let me allow for the one who is leading, comfortable lead.
So like you literally gave in.
Exactly. Because you
didn't even make the attempt.
In fact, I didn't even know that the lady was interested in rather coming closer to me.
Oh.
I shattered my mind on.
That's so bad.
You see? That's the trap of comparison.
That was so bad. That was so bad. Like, imagine if you had approached this lady. Who knows? The lady might have even,
give him the go ahead, like a green light. But
next time you should have this boldness and self-improvement.
So
and
that is one of the key to overcoming the trap of comparison.
Right.
Boldness to take the course on to progress.
Okay.
That's one key. So let me allow Charlie to come in because I think he's boiling up with something.
Exactly.
To say.
Exactly. So Charles, tell us your experience.
Okay, so growing up, I was, chubby, yeah, and from that stage, I felt like I could just go bare chested like the guys used to. So I compared myself to them, and I felt I had this low self-esteem.
Okay.
So I couldn't go amongst a lot of friends.
Were you laughed at?
I would say because of that thing. Sometimes, yes, they laugh, we joke around. But because of that thing, I quelled myself to my own reserved area. Yes, I quelled myself and I wasn't able to do a lot of things.
Okay.
So I grew up not really having a lot of friends, just few circle, just a very small circle. Now I grew up as an actor. Do you know how it played in comparison? It caught me in the trap of comparison where, you see, this thing made me like everything to be perfect. So I always wanted to have this perfection thing everywhere or in whatever that I did. So in this case, in my acting career, for instance, I started acting and I should have started posting and everything. But you see, after the video is done, I look at the video, I'm like, no, this side I should have done this, I should have.
Okay. You're not satisfied.
I'm not satisfied because I looked at someone and the person was top notch. Per my own, critics and everything, I felt the person was top notch. I felt the video color grading was this, and mine wasn't too okay, so I don't post it.
Okay.
You understand? So growing up, I was a victim of the trap of comparison because I used to compare a lot. And with that, I wasn't able to promote myself in everything that I did.
Okay.
It quelled me into my shells all the time.
I think by now you could have been a star.
Oh yes, because yes, on other TV shows and you see at some point, even when shows come and programs, I go and shoot stuff and it comes and I'm just supposed to just put it out there, maybe on a status, maybe on my social media page. I am kind of, I have this feeling behind that because I'm always comparing. Okay, this person did it this way. He was blasted. What will people say about it? So that kind of comparison quelled me in my shells.
Okay.
So I've been battling with it. I battled with it for a very long time, right? And you see, those things can get you to a point where if you're not careful, you cannot come out again. You will not be able to do anything for yourself. And at the point when I'm very glad that I didn't realize at a very later stage. Maybe I realized now. So I'll be able to put my things in order and do things well. If I'd realized at an old age, it would have been too late for me.
Yeah.
Yes. But basically, that's what I've been through. And with everything that I did, that comparison, that inferiority fueled comparison, I was trapped in there. You understand? And I wasn't able to do anything better. I wasn't able to push myself as I'm supposed to. Yeah.
Exactly. So for yours, I think it was just quelling yourself in and not coming out of yourself.
Because I compared.
Because you compared.
I was a victim of that.
As Charlie was talking, it was painting pictures of what I used to do in my mind, where it comes to camera taking.
Mhm.
We take photos and we put ourselves on social media like status on Facebook and stuff. But here lies the case, like because of the way I wasn't satisfied with my look. No, I don't have to put myself online.
You know, at a point, people tell me that, oh, you are handsome, you are a nice guy. Honestly, when I take pictures, it's very hard for me to post if it's not too edited, if it's not, and it's the truth. But I look at other people and they just do, I'm like, I just look at the picture, I'm like, so this person has been able to post
Exactly.
this. And I look at my picture, I'm like,
I feel better.
Jesus Christ.
So what is happening? Why?
Comparison.
Right. So exactly. So wait, let me share mine. I think growing up to, I was very slim. Even now.
Yes.
Hey, wait.
You're skinny. It's true.
I remember. It's
Were
true.
you there?
Oh, of course. I
Yeah.
know
So
you.
like growing up, I was very, very, very slim. Imagine.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was being tagged like a slim girl, and I didn't like it because
You're too skinny.
yeah, I was very, and like I'm not very tall, so I was very cute. And when we go for assembly, like they'll put me on the phone, they come for it.
I can
Like,
take-
it was
be
so
there, be
annoying.
there.
But then at a point, like growing up, I desired to get body, So what I did was, my sister is a nurse. I mostly asked her to come and put drips on me. With
You wanted
Biko.
drips?
Yeah, not I wanted. I was taking it.
Wow.
Yes, I took drips just to gain body.
I see.
So you see, and then I was taking blood tonic. Unless I didn't hear of it, like I'll go for it. But at the end of the day, this is my Obolo version. Like this is me.
You can't go any further.
Exactly.
No, she can.
So like at a point, I wanted to get body so that when you wear a dress, you can feel yourself. But then I sat and I realized, no, I'm just wasting my time. I'm just wasting my life. And I should learn to appreciate myself. And amazingly, people see me and it's like, wow, I like the way you are. Like me, I'm big. I even want to be like you. Why are you also trying to be like me? And all these things also encourage me to accept myself.
So you are unique in your own way.
Exactly. But like I started accepting myself just this recently. And I felt like I have this peace, I have this value in myself. Because hey, you'll be walking and you meet someone and it's like, I like your shape, I like the way you look. And you tend to feel proud of yourself. So sometimes, we have this standard, and then no wonder most of the ladies are trying to catch up. Like when you go on social media, people are doing BBL, like they are doing math fill up, like they're doing all those things. But I don't think those things are necessary if you have self-confidence.
Yeah,
And
so
if you believe in yourself.
I think in a nutshell with this thing is lack of contentment.
Right.
And acceptance.
Yes,
Mhm.
because if an acceptance, but I don't think you being accepted by people should be a problem to you. I mean, if you're watching me out there, because the moment you feel you want to be accepted, you tend to do things that will make the people accept you.
Pleased.
But you have to do things that gives you that peace of mind, that inner peace.
Mhm.
Be yourself. Be who you are. This is how God created you. God created everyone in his own unique way.
Right.
Your value is not based on performance.
Mhm.
Your value is not based on like. Your value is not based on whatever it is people have placed on value that makes you valuable.
Mhm.
But value is what God says you are. Your identity and your purpose gives you that value. I saw a video on TV, on this social media.
Yeah.
A man picked a currency,
Mhm.
crumpled it like this, placed it down, and asked that, okay, so this was maybe $100 note, crumpled it, placed it down. And after that, after crumpling it, throwing it there, doing it there, stepping on it, has the value changed?
No.
No. So, a lot of people, you want someone to accept. Why do you want people to accept you? So, you want to fit in by force.
Mhm.
If you don't fit in, just leave it. They leave it like that. Go. It's true because a lot of people want to fit in, and by wanting to fit in, they do things that are beyond their strength.
Yeah.
They find themselves wanting at the end.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to get whatever they want
Mhm.
to make them fit in or to be accepted by people, they call themselves inside their shells. They can't do anything. they don't move.
Yeah.
If I don't have this, I can't go here. If I don't have that, I can't go here. But you see, I've realized something. I'm not saying some people are ugly,
Yeah.
but you see, if I realize that those who you see that, oh, this person is not too much of a nice person, those people are very confident.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've studied that thing.
Yes.
They are very confident.
Yes.
Why? Because them, they have accepted the fact that this is me.
This is me.
I cannot change.
Exactly.
So they don't care about anything. They flow and they in fact, those people progress very well. But you see, we that have made ourselves like, oh, fine boy, fine girl. Fine girl has seen another fine girl, or fine boy has seen another fine boy. So you see yourself as a fine boy. Fine boy has seen another fine boy who's looking finer than him. But the person has added something to make him look finer. And fine boy is trying to look out for that thing to make him also finer than that fine boy. And it's the same way with the ladies.
Yeah.
And so it is killing us because we are comparing. And that is how come if you study, you want to be accepted wherever you go. Those people, whether you accept them or not, they know that is how they are. And they are not going to change.
Exactly.
I think it's about time we tend to stay away from or block our ears from what people say about us and focus on who we are, our value, our identity and purpose. And be content with whatever we have. My sister, if I'm content with whatever I have, right, and I don't listen to what people say about me, and I don't compare myself, because me wanting to feel accepted is where I compare. Because this person was accepted because he did this or he did that. So I want to also follow that same trend. But you see, when you are unique in your own way, you are accepted in your own way. Therefore, you are comfortable at where you are. If you are not comfortable at where you are, and you feel if you are not content, and you feel you have to do something to please other people before you are, and that's where the trap comes in.
Exactly.
So a lot of people feel unworthy.
Sure.
They don't even have joy over their own what do you call it? Their own progress.
Selves, yeah.
You understand? If they progress in life or their own achievement, they don't even have joy. Because they compare themselves to other people's achievements and see that those people are doing better than them.
Exactly. So you are talking about contentment and then valuing yourself, appreciating what you have.
Yeah.
And that is very powerful. So Johnny, what thoughts or habits have helped you to escape the trap of comparison?
Okay, that's good. But before I come to that question, Charles was saying something important, interesting, that got me some mindset. And it has to do with acceptance. You know, when Adam was put into the garden, he was told to keep it. So the garden has been made over there like that. But Adam was commanded to keep it. So if you are accepting yourself and want to agree with who you are, it is not wrong to enhance yourself. That is keeping the garden. It is not wrong to boost it up. It is not wrong to increase your personality. But it becomes wrong when what you are enhancing gets into comparison with others. That is when it becomes wrong. Because it's just like knowledge. If you lack knowledge, you don't progress, you don't gain power. So because you want to be powerful, you increase your knowledge. And with beauty, for instance, your personality, you are not stuck to be at where you are. You can enhance yourself, but not in comparison with others. Exactly. Because that's where the trap comes in. So you'll be trapped with discouragement, with bad feelings and mediocre feelings, self-pity, low esteem, because you don't get to the heights others are. That's great. So in coming to your question, first of all, I took gratitude on to appreciate who God and what He has made me.
Okay.
To accept myself that, in fact, this is who I am. Look at a practical example. Me, how do you compare someone is taller than I am? It is because the person is taller than I am. But that doesn't mean I am short, because when you compare me to something I am taller than, you will say I also am taller than something. Yeah. So in that case, how do you know that I'm shorter or I'm short?
Exactly. So it means you are comparing me to
comparison.
Someone. Right.
So comparison leads to these things.
Yeah.
But if you don't compare and just accept yourself, so I developed the mindset. Well, don't you think that there is something I have that these who are tall don't have? No, okay, let's assume the way I speak. God, I think I'm quite different, because several people have told me, if we got the way you only speak, like where will we go?
Yeah.
And I said, so then why am I discouraging myself?
Exactly.
Because I'm not tall like them, but yet they desire something about me. So why do I think I'm nothing? I'm worthless and I have nothing. I have something they want.
Right.
They have something I want. So let me be content with what I have. That was the mindset.
And let's stop all this comparison.
Exactly.
thing. Oh.
Appreciate who you are.
Hmm.
Appreciate the capabilities God has given you, the purpose He has made in you. And in fact, love yourself.
Yes.
Love yourself.
That's
one.
true. Yeah.
Because if you don't love yourself, you tend to hate what you have become.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you are becoming better, you are still not satisfied.
Exactly.
Because you don't love it.
Hmm.
You don't even like it. So you want to get more of it. And it rather ends up spoiling everything. Yes. So
I believe that.
That is the mindset I developed. And it helped me one way or the other.
It will surely help you. And
Of
not
course.
only you, I think it is helping everyone listening.
Yeah.
And what stood out for me is the fact that, like, the one you are comparing yourself to, they have something you don't have. Likewise, you also have something they don't
Exactly.
have. So look at that particular thing that they wish that they have, which you are having. And then, prioritize that particular thing, which is going to gain value.
Exactly.
And I think not to cut you,
Yeah.
I think there's one thing that I have also realized, that a lot of people don't have set goals for themselves.
Okay.
They don't have personal goals, and so they tend to follow anything because they are comparing. If I know where I'm going and I've set goals for myself, because there's nothing new under the sun. Maybe I want to start something somebody's doing, that shouldn't deter me from moving forward. Right? This is my goal. I have to accomplish it. Nothing should stop me.
Exactly.
So if I'm to follow my strategies or to follow the path I have set in accomplishing my goals, I think comparison shouldn't be part of my story.
Exactly.
If I'm comparing, then I'm comparing to learn,
Right.
so that I upgrade or something like that. But if I'm comparing to feel that I'm not worth it, I can't do it because this person is doing it this way and I need this and that, then I think that's wrong.
Okay.
But if you have set goals, it's like you having a vision. The career of the vision only sees how beautiful the vision is.
Right.
Those people are around, just have a glimpse of the vision. Even when I tell them, or when you tell someone, they just have a glimpse of the vision. You understand?
Yeah.
And some people will feel that, oh, it's not good. I think they'll discourage you. But you see, the career of the vision, have to look at what you saw that made you think of what you wanted to start or what you wanted to do.
Right.
Exactly.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
How beautiful it was. You know how you saw it. They didn't see it. You saw it. So I think if you have set goals, you will never fall into the trap of comparison. If you are falling into a trap of comparison, then you are falling into a trap where you compare to upgrade.
Okay.
You compare to upgrade in a positive manner.
Exactly.
So we can compare
Yes.
in a positive manner.
Yes. Okay. Let's say I manufacture phones.
Yeah.
This company also manufactures phones. Okay. Now, this company added a feature that was very, very nice. That I think that, okay, these people have something unique. And if I add up to this, it would be it would give more value to whatever I have or my
Exactly.
production.
Okay.
So you can put yourself in a positive position or in a trap of comparison that I compare to upgrade or I compare to learn, but I don't compare to put myself in a competition.
Exactly.
You are not, mind you, let me end with this. You're not competing with anybody on this earth.
Right.
Compete with yourself, with the goals and the visions that you have. And that is what is going to put you there.
Thank you so much. And that is what is going to put you there. So don't compare, don't compete, compare with yourself and compete with yourself. So Johnny, coming to you, what advice will you give to someone feeling left behind or not too good? What is that one advice you give to the person?
You're feeling discouraged,
Left
not
behind.
good enough,
Yeah.
left behind, just because you compared yourself to someone. Okay, so the thing you are comparing yourself with, ask yourself, if it didn't exist, would you have anything to compare it? So if that is the case, why don't you appreciate what you have become, and enhance what you have? If, according to how my brother says it, if it is comparison, then it is because it is upgrading you. But If not, don't compare at all. Tell yourself that that thing you want to compare yourself with does not exist. If only you will get criticized and discouraged and feel bad. It did not exist. Yours existed. That is why you are currently having what you have. If you want to compare with what the person has, then you will get discouraged. But if you want to keep moving, then that is when you get the courage. We told you earlier on that have boldness and love for the self. This is what can help you appreciating who you are, accepting the personality you have become, and then keep going. Love yourself. Compare not, unless it is for improvement, upgrade, or education. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you so much, Johnny. And that was so insightful. Love yourself and don't compare. Imagine what you're comparing didn't exist. What would you have compared? So don't compare. So Charlie, your last words.
With everything, I would say practice gratitude.
Okay.
Because if you're out there and you don't practice gratitude, that is where you tend to find yourself not like seeing the value in you or not seeing what you're worth. But if I value the little I have, and I thank God for making me this way, I think I would not compare myself to others. If you don't, have gratitude for the little you have, I mean, it would always put you on your toes to be comparing yourself to others. It will push you. It will drive you to compare yourself to others and try to get what they want, what they have by every other means.
Yeah.
But I think your drive from hence should be, God, I thank you for this, because even if you have not lost something, you wouldn't know the value of it. So you have to know that waking up every day, you understand, is even a way to say thank you, Jesus, is even enough for you to know that there's a purpose God has for you.
Yeah.
So you give gratitude, the little you have, and know that when the time is right, God would, help you, or God will show himself strong. So you don't have to always compare, and do not be discouraged, but practice gratitude. Even you have to compare to grow, not comparing to bring you down or compare to lose your worth.
Okay.
But compare to grow and place gratitude on the little that you have, because it's out of the little that will grow and become bigger.
Exactly. Wow, that is so wonderful. It is out of the little that you grow to become bigger. And one thing that I have been practicing is contentment. I'm very content with what I have. I don't compete, and that is an advice to my young ladies out there. We are in a certain realm of social media pressure and all those things. It's like you have to catch up to
age.
Exactly. It's like you have to catch up to this new clothes that are in, new wigs that are in, like new.
We call it the upbeat trends.
But then I don't have it, and I can't kill myself
Be yourself.
to have it. If this dress next production, that is all that I have, I'm going to bring it. I don't care putting on this dress another time, because every week, why not? I wash my clothes. So what do you expect?
Exactly.
I wash my clothes
That's
every
what
week.
you have.
That is what I have. So until I make the money to be changing my clothes regularly, I don't think I should have this pressure of, hey, this is a next production, so I have to get a new clothes, I have to get a new hair. This is the hair I can afford, and that is what I've got. I don't care about what you think. I don't care about what society think. And that has made me to feel okay. I don't feel pressured. I don't do things that far to, I don't go to the extra mile of, doing things which are not supposed to be done as a lady just to gain certain things. And I think this is an advice to my young ladies, that if you don't let societal pressure and all these things that are trending affect you, you'll be okay. So contentment is very key. So thank you all for joining me today. I really love today's discussion.
Thank you.
It has been helpful and educative.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I believe our audience have been well educated. So thank you out there for also watching us till this very end. We promise you nothing but the best. That in our next episode, we're going to give you more exciting and educative topics. So keep watching Young and Active, and get ready, prepare yourself, because you will also be my next guest. Thank you, and follow us on all our social media platforms on Ads on TV. My name is Lady Glow, and I've been your host. Stay tuned.